was September 5th, in the picturesque city of Hemet. A beautiful, mildly windy, but extremely hot day. The sun was shining, blue skies everywhere, and the birds were probably in the shade, in a bird bath, hiding from the heat, but most likely still chirping a little bit. And then, a power surge. People in the city of Hemet and surrounding areas were noticing lights flickering and some power outages, which was unfortunately normal when the temperatures are boiling at 109 degrees Fahrenheit. It was a historic heat wave after all, but lurking in the shadows under the drying out trees was an outdated electrical grid infrastructure, and even drier underbush, which is basically shrubs and small trees, and they were dried to the bone. I'm sure you know what happens next. Yep, that's right. A hurricane formed in the East Pacific Ocean and it was tracking towards Southern California. This did happen. It would play a major role later in the video. For now, it was the heat and dry conditions near Hemet where a fire has begun. Because of this massive dome of high pressure that smashed heat records across California, Nevada, Colorado, and Arizona, while these states for the most part had extreme to severe drought, the underbrush and growth of the forest and trees dried out even further, meaning this small fire could grow quickly. This mixed with 15 to 25 miles per hour wind gusts were all this fire needed initially for explosive growth. Here is a topological map of the Hemet City area. This is where the fire started and was initially reported as a 20-acre fire off the Fairview Ave at 3:37 p.m. Pacific Time on September 5th. On this day, the fire grew to 2,000 acres. Then the next day, it doubled in size to 4,500 acres. And by September 7th, higher winds and increased fuel, that dry underbrush I was talking about earlier, pushed the fire to quadruple in size to 19,000 acres. Evacuation orders were issued each day as the fire grew, but there was a massive problem. The local news in the area would fail to do their job, and many people would be left wondering, are they in the evacuation order area or not? Local city fire officials and meteorologists can only do so much. It is a well-established fact that the media is treated as a medium for the public in these dangerous events, taking the complex information fire officials and others give, communicating them to the public so everyone understands what to do next, saving lives. Do you think the public isn't aware of the fire? Do you think when they turn on the news at night, that's all they want to see? Trees burning, houses burning? Everyone that lived in that area was desperate for answers to prevent those videos from happening to them, so that they could survive this deadly fire. This is why the media's hyper-focus on clicks and fear porn is dangerous in a situation when the public needs detailed information to survive and doesn't give a crap about the videos of a fire burning house. In fact, those videos give anxiety, stress, and panic when calm, detailed messaging on what they should do in this situation is way more effective in protecting their lives. They want to know when to evacuate. Should they gather personal belongings? What do they do when the smoke becomes unhealthy? Is the smoke even unhealthy? You know, the basics to survive, and the local media failed Hemet that day. That was a bit of a rant, but had to get it off my chest before I continued. In comes Hurricane K. The conditions in the eastern Pacific near southern Mexico were ripe for tropical development, and the tropical wave that would eventually become Hurricane K took full advantage of this. This hurricane would ride the coast of Baja Peninsula and track way too close for comfort to Southern California. But didn't make landfall. So what's the big deal? Well, although the surface winds were not that high, the winds just 3,000 feet above the surface of Hemet, California, would be screaming at 50 to 80 miles an hour. In fact, a weather station recorded 109 miles per hour on the mountaintops near San Diego. This is exactly what fires love: high winds to spread embers, and fire grows faster over dry fuels. It was a recipe for the perfect disaster. But there was one savior that was hard to predict that fires absolutely hate: rain. Fire's mortal enemy. Would the rains come first or would the wind? No one knew for sure until that day. The winds and the rain, actually, essentially came at the same time. But in the end, the fire wasn't able to spread too much because the firefighters in the area worked with the improved conditions caused by the rain, cooler weather, to put out the spot fires that appeared. And the firefighters made huge gains, as the fire is now 40% contained. Here is the current evacuation map at the time this video was posted. As you can see, some evacuation orders have been changed to evacuation warnings. This doesn't mean it's time to rush back into the evacuation warning area just yet, as the fire's situation is still dynamic and is not fully contained. And that is my recap of the Hemet fire. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.